Welcome to Table from One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'm doing a solo playthrough of a Nice Cuppa. And this is the third video in a mini-series where I look at the Nice Cuppa expansion collection. So today, I'll be showing you the expansion Pets. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm back with another video for a Nice Cuppa talking about another one of the expansions, and in this video we're going over pets. So if you're just joining me, I do have a video on how to play a Nice Cuppa. It was a Kickstarter preview. You can find that in my Button Shy playlist. I did that about a year ago, and in that video I had a copy of a Nice Cuppa provided by the publisher, Button Shy Games, but I like the game so much that I backed it personally on Kickstarter, so that's what I'm using here. This is my personal copy that I paid for, not anything provided by the publisher, and then I have since bought all the expansions as well. And so this one is Pets, but I've previously gone over A Good Book and Seasonal Stresses, and then next week I will go over Something Sweet. So the format of these videos is I'm just doing a how to play in the beginning, and then I'll do a solo playthrough. I won't necessarily do very well in that playthrough, but I will try and get all the rules right so you can see this this expansion in action. And if you like this, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. I would really appreciate it. So let's get going. Again, I am assuming you know how to play the base game. So we've got our T cards up here, 1 through 7. We've got our worry cards here. They're kind of shuffled up, but we'll mix them again before we start. And then these are the 4 cards for the Pets expansion. So let's flip them over and have a look at them. We've got a cat, a dog, a rabbit, and a turtle. And I'm also going to take out here this turn reference card. This comes with the base game, but we might want to take a look at it as we're going through these. And I'm going to say, of the A Nice Cuppa expansions, this one is the least intuitive. That doesn't mean it's hard, but as I go through explaining how this works and what each of these pets does, you may just be like, wondering what the heck is going on here, or at least I don't want to speak for you, but when I read through these the first time, I was like, what do these mean? But it'll become clear once I do the playthrough. So if you're kind of not following, just watch the playthrough. I think it'll become clear then, and then you can come back to this section, watch it again, and I think it'll make perfect sense. So when you play a Nice Cuppa with the Pets expansion, you shuffle up these 4 cards and draw one randomly, and then just set the other 3 aside. You're not going to use them. So each time you play, it'll be a little bit variable. And so each of these pets is going to do something a little bit different and at a different time in the turn order. So thematically, as much as we like the pets, we're trying to focus on making our Nice Cuppa. We don't want to be distracted. And these pets are seeking attention and kind of taking our focus away from the tea. So after you've shuffled and selected, or if you want a specific one, obviously do whatever you want, grab the pet you want. When it's time to set up the game, you place the pet card above T card number 1. Or asterisk, if you are combining this with the A Good Book expansion, then place the pet above card 0 at the start of the game. So a simpler way of saying that would be select your pet during setup and then place it above the lowest numbered T card after you've got all the T cards out. Now, obviously, when you play a Nice Cuppa, these T cards kind of start moving around throughout the course of play. The pets will move as well. When the pets move, just move the pet. But if you move the T cards, if there's a pet above a T card, move the pet with the T card that you're moving. Now, additionally, each of these pets will work a slightly different way that will affect how you play. And so I'm actually going to swap these two just for just to make it a little bit more clear as we're going through this turn reference sheet. So let's start with the turtle. Let's talk about what the turtle does. So during step 2, which is step 2 is from left to right, one at a time, perform each face-up worry card's action. So during that part, during step 2, this pet's T card may not move more than one space from where it started the step. So I think that's kind of funny. Like thematically, it fits with the turtle. Like wherever the turtle is, it can't go very far from where it started in any single turn. Then at the end of the turn, the pet will move. That's what's always at the end of the turn. So at the end of the turn, after the last step, which is optionally you may choose a pair of T cards and swap them. After that step, compare the numbers of all the diagonally adjacent T cards. That means diagonally adjacent to this turtle. So let me just set this up real quick. Let's say we have these 3 T cards. So you compare the numbers of the 2 below and then left and right of the turtle. Move this pet to the lowest card among those cards. So in this case, we would move it above the 1. All right, hopefully that made sense. Next, we'll go over the dog. So the dog will affect step 3. So step 3 is flip each T card above each face-up worry card. So when you get to that step, this says, do not flip the T card below this pet. And then at the end of the turn, compare the numbers of all diagonally adjacent T cards and move this pet to the highest card among those cards. So same as the turtle, but the turtle will look at the 2 diagonally adjacent and go to the lowest number. The dog will look at the 2 diagonally adjacent and go to the highest number. Now, if your turtle or dog is all the way at the end, there's only going to be 1 diagonally adjacent card, so that is the one you move to. The pet must always move if possible. So next, let's talk about the rabbit. So this one is going to affect step 4. Step 4 is remove each face-up worry card that is below a focused T card. So when you get to that step, what does the rabbit do? This says, do not remove worries from T cards below or diagonally adjacent to this pet. So that can certainly be tricky. And then at the end of the turn, move this pet to any T card exactly 2 spaces away. So if the rabbit's kind of in the middle of your line, you'll have 2 choices, but if it's kind of close to one under the other, you will have to move it to the card that is exactly 2 spaces away. And again, thematically, that's kind of fun. It's like, the rabbit is like hopping over a card. So at the end of each turn, the rabbit's just sort of hopping around all your T stuff. And then finally, we have the cat. So the cat is going to affect step 5, which is the last step. That's optionally, you may choose a pair of T cards and swap them. During that step, this says, do not swap any T cards below or diagonally adjacent to this pet. So you've got a bit of a restriction there. And then at the end of the turn, move this pet to the T card with the next higher number if possible. So for example, in this game, the cat, because we're not using any other expansions, the cat would start above T card number 1. And whenever T card 1 moves, the cat would move with it. At the end of the turn, it would go above T card number 2, no matter where it was in the line. So that is the way each of these pets work. Again, if that was a little bit confusing or hard to follow, let's just jump into the solo playthrough. You'll see one of these in action, and then I think it'll be more clear. Although the last thing I will mention before we set up is that there is no change to endgame scoring when you play with pets. You don't get any extra points, and you don't get any deductions. You're just trying to score the same normal way, but you've got some more extra distractions. So we'll put this over here, this turn reference card. We'll flip these face down and mix them up in a moment. Let's mix up our worry cards here. Just a quick shuffle. They should be shuffled already. Okay, that's good. And our T cards are all in order, so we need to shuffle these extra good. Okay, that's pretty well shuffled, I hope. Now that I'm dropping them everywhere. Okay, those are shuffled. Now we're going to mix up the T cards. Pets, I mean. We're going to mix up the pets cards. I can keep all my cards straight. Okay. And we will take one off the top. Okay, that's it for pets. So let's save the big reveal for a moment. We'll put the T cards out. 6, 4, 1, 7, 3, 2, 5. Okay, yeah, I would say that was adequately shuffled. There we go. And now some worry cards. So we've got 7 of those and 3 left over. We won't look at them. We'll just place them off to the side up there. We won't need them again. Maybe we'll bring these a little lower this time because we're going to have the pet in the third row. So we find our lowest numbered card, which is a standard game is 1. If you play with a good book expansion, it's going to be 0. And your pet starts there. We've got the turtle. So let's get started and I'll show you how this works. We need to flip over a worry card. Let's pick, I don't know, this one. Education. So now we resolve these from left to right, choose a group of 3, move it to another spot in the line. And so this is step 2 now that we're resolving, is resolving these worry cards from left to right. During this step, this pet's T card, so the one that's below it, may not move more than one space from where it started. So for example, to choose a group of 3 and move it to another spot in the line, I could not take this group of 3 and move it all the way to the end because the one card would be moving way too many spots. So it's starting in this column 3. It cannot end outside of columns 2 to 4. It's got to be in there somewhere. So let's take this group of 3 and I'm going to move it over one spot so that the one card doesn't go too far. So remember, the turtle is above the 1. The 1 is moving, so the turtle goes with it, and we have followed the rule that it has not moved more than one spot from where it started. So this is maybe a more complicated one. We've got to keep track of where the card started, because if we had more of these worry cards to resolve now, we wouldn't want the 1 to go here because that would be against the rules. So I would recommend you could probably take this turn reference card at the beginning of each turn and say like, hey, this is where the turtle started. So maybe I'll do that going forward. But at this point, I've completed step 2. I've resolved all of the face-up worry cards. So now step 3 is to flip each T card above each face-up worry card. So I do this. Now just quickly, if you were playing with the dog, this was step 3. This is where the dog would have an effect, would be on this step. Do not flip the T card below this pet. All right, now we're going to step 4. Remove each face-up worry card that is below a focused T card. Now this T card is distracted, not focused, so we're not going to be removing this. But at this point, if we were playing with the rabbit, this is where the rabbit would have an effect. Do not remove worries from T cards, even if they're face up, that are below or diagonally adjacent to this pet. So that's how the rabbit works. And now we're on step 5. Optionally, you may choose a pair of T cards and swap them. Now, if we were playing with the cat, at this point, this is where the cat has an effect. Do not swap any T cards below or diagonally adjacent to this pet. So we wouldn't be able to swap, say, these two. So that's how the cat works. And at this point, if I wanted to swap, say, 1 and 7, I could, because the turtle prevents this pet's card from moving more than one space during step 2. So we're outside of step 2 now. So we could move 1 outside of those sort of bounds that we started with. So if I wanted to swap 1 and 7, I could. And you know what? I think I will do that. So the turtle continues to move with card 1. And now we've completed step 5. So we're at end of turn. And again, for all pets, there is an end of turn effect. This says compare the number of all diagonally adjacent T cards. So we've got 3 and 7. Move this pet to the lowest card among those cards. So it's going to go to the 3 now. Now I start the next round. So I'll be a little bit less explanatory for the rest of the game now, but let's go ahead and reveal another worry card. And how about this one? We have health. So now we resolve left to right. Health says choose any odd numbered card, swap it with any even numbered card. And I think I'll swap this 1 and this 6. That seems pretty good. And then choose a group of 3, move it to another spot in the line. I'm going to take this group of 3 and move it over one spot like so. So now I've got 1, 2. And I followed the rule for turtle. I did not move the 3. The 3 started here and it hasn't gone anywhere. So now we flip T cards above face-up worry cards. Now we remove worry cards below focused T cards, so education goes away. That one was not being very useful to me. And now I may swap 2 adjacent cards if I choose, and I will. I'm going to swap the 3 and the 4, so the turtle moves with the 3. And now we are at the end of the turn, so we check the 2 diagonal cards to the turtle and move the pet to the lowest number. So between the 6 and the 4, it's going to go to the 4. Now we can start our next round. And let's flip over this worry card here. Oh, politics. Man, why can't that one get shuffled out? I hate this one. This is the hardest one. Okay. So let's resolve now left to right, noting, I'll just put this, I guess, here, that this is where the turtle is starting. So this 4 could not go more than one space away from that turn reference card. So choose a pair. Move the left card to the left end of the line and the right card to the right end of the line. And I guess this won't be too bad. I'm going to take this pair, this 2, 7. So the 2 goes to the left end of the line and the 7 goes to the right end of the line. So we slide things down. The turtle follows the 4. The 4 is still legal. It has not gone more than one space. Now we need to resolve health. So choose any odd numbered card, swap it with any even numbered card. And maybe we swap this 6 and this 3. And now we've resolved all our worry cards from left to right. So we flip over our T cards above face up worry cards. And now we remove worry cards below focused T cards. So I got that politics one out of there as quickly as I could because that one's so hard for me to manage. And now optionally I can swap 2 adjacent cards. And sure, let's do the 4 and the 6. And again, we're outside of step 2 now, so I can continue moving the 4 wherever I want at this point in the round. So now it's end of turn. We take a look at the 2 diagonally adjacent cards. The turtle goes to the lower one, so the 3 is lower than the 6. And now the 3 will be starting the round here. So let's take a look at this worry card maybe. We've got technology. So resolve now from left to right, start with health, choose an odd numbered card, swap it with an even numbered card, and then technology after that will be choose a pair, swap it with any other single card. So I thought I might swap these these odd and even 1 and 2, but then I think 1 will get stranded here and it'll be distracted. I'd rather flip it and have it get rid of health, this health worry. So I think what I'm going to do, odd and even, I'm going to swap 6 and 7 here. And then for technology, choose a pair, swap it with any other single card. I will swap this pair with the 6. So I just kind of rearranged a little bit these last 3 cards, but that's not super detrimental. The 3 stayed in its starting place, that's fine. Now we flip over T cards above face up worry cards. We remove worry cards below focus T cards. And now step 5, optionally swap any 2 adjacent cards. And I will swap 1 and 2 because they look to be pretty safe now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's looking good. And now the turtle will move to either 2 or 4, and it wants the lower card, so it will go to 2. And we'll just move this reference card as a reminder for where the 2 starts this round. So now let's flip over another card. And I think I'll go with this one, aging. So resolving left to right, aging is choose a pair, swap it with another pair. So let's do this. Let's swap this pair with this pair, respecting that the 2 cannot go more than one space. I kind of don't want to move the 2 at all. And then take a pair and swap it with a single card. So I will swap this pair with this single card. So the pair goes where the card was. The card goes where the pair was. So we're like this. Now we flip over T cards above face up worry cards, remove worry cards, face up worry cards that are below focus T cards. And now we're in the step 5. Optionally, I can swap any 2 cards that are a pair. And I suppose we might as well do 5 and 6, right? So now at least we've got everything in order. Now we just want to try and keep it that way. And the turtle now compares this 1 and this 3 and moves to the 1. The 1 cannot move more than one space. So it's got to end its turn either here or here, which is kind of where I want it to be anyway. So let's see what's going on with this last card. Finances. Choose a pair, move it to another spot in the line. Oh, interesting. So we start with aging. Choose a pair, swap it with another pair. Let's swap these 2 pairs, like so. And now we choose another pair and swap it with a single card. I will swap this pair with, let's swap it with this card. See if I can make some of these worries go away. So now we flip these over. We've got a lot of distractions now. No worry cards to remove. And optionally, I can swap any 2 cards if they are adjacent. So I don't know. Let's swap these two. I don't really have a plan. Now the turtle is going to compare all diagonally adjacent cards, so nothing and 2. So between those, it's going to go to the lowest numbered card. It has to be the 2. And we go to the next round. We flip over this last worry card. It is home. Ooh, this one's tricky. So choose the leftmost or rightmost card in the line and move it to the other end. That's not great. Ooh, that's going to be tough, especially with this turtle. So I'll take, oh man, I guess the 1 and put it on the right end. I think that's the worst move of the 2, as opposed to putting 5 on the other end, but that slides these T cards in such a way that I might eliminate this worry card, and I want to get rid of it because it is not, that is not very helpful. Although, now that I think about it, if it's still there next round, I could use its effect to then just reverse that action, and that might be good. Well, I don't know. Let's stick with what I have. Let's see if I can make this work. So now choose a pair and swap it with another pair. And let's swap 6-4 with 7-5. And then finally, we've got finances. Choose a pair, move it to another spot in the line. Wait a second. Let me undo that last move. I swapped a 7-5 with the 6-4, I'm pretty sure. Let me put that back. I think I want to do that differently. When I swap a pair with another pair, no, I think that is what I have to do. Okay. I keep thinking I have a revelation, and then I don't. Okay, so now, yeah, choose a pair, move it to another spot in the line. Yuck. I'll take this 5-6 pair and move it to this spot. All right, so that's the end of step 2. So now I don't have to worry about where this 2 is. So now we flip over these T cards and then remove these 2 worry cards. So I got rid of home. That's good. Finances could still be useful for a minute. Oh, wait a minute, though. I wanted to keep home. That's why 1 is over there. Ooh, that's a problem. Shoot. Oh man, I've done this all wrong. Whatever. We're gonna finish the game. I have done something terrible. Yeah, I think I've really just blown the game. So I can swap any pair. I'm gonna swap 7 and 3, believe it or not. And now the turtle will move to the lowest numbered card diagonally adjacent. And so it'll have to stay here. I've got 1 round left. At the beginning of this round, I have no worry cards to flip over. So then from left to right, choose a pair, move it to another spot in the line. And I can't really take this pair and move it to the beginning because that would push the 7 over twice. So I'm going to take 6-1 and move it to this spot. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to move the 2 far enough to score, though. No, not even close. So then we flip over T cards. We don't remove the worry card. And again, optionally, I can swap any 2 cards, and it doesn't, or any 2 adjacent cards. And yeah, that is not going to matter in the least. This is maybe the worst game I've ever played. So now we're at scoring, and the pet does not affect scoring in any way. So we find the lowest numbered card that we have. It's 1, and then we score on everything sequential from there. So we just score the 1 because we don't have a 2 next. So the 1 is focused. It's not distracted, so it's worth 2 points. Otherwise, it'd be worth 1. So that's 2 points. Every card after that would be another 1 or 2. I lose 1 point for having 1 worry card remaining, so I get a grand total of 1 point. And so according to the scoring book and the base game, even if I'm playing on the casual standard mode, 5 or less is you lose. I have spilled the tea. That is not good. 1 point is not a good score, but I guess I wasn't in the negative, so that's good. So there you go. Well, at least you got to see how that works. I at least played the rules right. So that's pets. If you were confused at all when I was doing the explanation of the rules, maybe go back and watch that now. I think it'll make a lot more sense on how the different pets would operate. Other than that, don't forget you can always go to my YouTube merch store and get yourself one of these Table for One neoprene playmats. They're great for these button-shy wallet games, and that'll help me solve my finances worries. Otherwise, if you think that joke is worth $1, you can head over to my coffee page, ko-fi. There's a link in the description. You can leave me any amount that you think is appropriate, and I just use that to keep the channel running, so that is always appreciated. But that's what I've got for this video, so I will have one more a Nice Cuppa expansion video coming out next week. This is, of course, this video is released in August of 2025, so if you're watching sometime later than that, this whole series should be done. But I will show the Something Sweet expansion next time, and then the following week, I will play a game of a Nice Cuppa using all of the expansions together, so I'm looking forward to that. So that's what I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching Table for One. I really do appreciate it. I had a good time. I hope you did too, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.
Thank you.